I'm going to hand it over to them, and I will let they know their hierarchy, who did what, and they'll have some fun. We'll do questions and answers afterwards.
All right, so first off, I love how half of the standing ovation was leaving. That was pretty funny. You guys know this is a comedy, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for coming out, and thank you to Comic-Con or the Calgary Comic Expo. I keep calling it Comic-Con because it's confusing. But thanks to everybody that's come out, because this made the premiere that much awesomer. We are really stoked. I think I speak for everyone when I say that. So I think first off, I'd like to thank, before we get into discussion about it, I want to thank all of the extras that came out and participated at the very end scene there, because that was minus, I think it was minus 20.
About 25, yeah.
Yeah, and they were only getting coffee for that, so give them a round of applause, because that was awesome. Apart from that, we have to thank everybody that contributed on the Indiegogo campaign, because we made that for $200, so give us more money.
No, not true. $167.
That's true. So if we could do that with $167 with more money, it would be phenomenal. So.
Can you imagine what we could do for $312? This is a figure.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I wasn't trying to double it. I haven't been to math school. Can we take these home?
I think so.
I don't think anybody would want it after you've used it. So.
Enough out of you, Tim. It's not about you. It's about them.
Yeah. So Chinggis, you can see why he's just an actor.
Yeah.
That joke fell flat. I'm gonna let someone else talk for a while.
You can see why Spencer's a stand-up comedian, guys.
Well, Spencer Stryker, obviously creator, producer, Dr. Face. I'm Ryan. I was the director, and I edited the script a few times. So I don't have a whole lot to say. Just in thanks, I guess, to everybody. Everybody that I guess supported us through the whole thing. Family who are here, friends who are here, all the people who contributed, and all the people who made it happen. So yeah.
I'm Wes Pico. I'm the director of photography, editor, and sound mixer for the film, so I'd be happy to field any technical questions you have.
Oh my god, we're all saying stuff. Hello. Hello? Okay, yeah. I'm Vanessa. I was Dr. Face's wife, Susan. I'm a kind of actor, but also film student person, so.
We're all good at English.
So how did you guys all meet?
How we all met is kind of crazy because I think I met Chinggis first out of anybody, because we did a short film for Tell a Story Hive called Less Than the Time of Heartache.
Yep.
And so I got hit by a car 8 times because I was a stunt man, and he was an actor, and we looked into each other's eyes, and that was it. And,
There's this great behind the scenes where they make out. It's wonderful.
I noticed he kissed him when Nancy was introduced.
That's a lie, sir.
Actually, that one was funny too, because he kissed me first, and then we didn't get it on camera, so then Ryan and Wes were like, oh, you should do it again to him, and I was like, wait, what did you say? And they're like, nothing, and then Ryan and Chinggis just looked at each other, and I was like, oh, I'm about to get FaceTimed, so I was like, I'm gonna take this situation into control of my own, and so I just grabbed him and just went for it. I was like, stuck my tongue down his throat. It was interesting.
Let's get back to the introduction. We kind of cut Joey off.
Cut the George sound guy off.
Yeah.
What literally what I was going to say is that I'm Joe, I'm the sound guy. I was the boom mic operator for most of it, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's okay. We needed to interrupt that.
Literally.
The tallest guy on set, yes. Tallest guy.
Actually.
Yeah, sure. Why not? My name's Chinggis Javeri. I say things for money and sometimes for not money.
Ooh.
Not bitter.
Wow.
Yeah, our that's another thing I would like to mention. Our entire our entire Thanks for coming. Our entire cast and crew was totally volunteers because all of our money went into props and location. So we appreciate. I would like to thank everybody for donating their time again and booking time off work to do so, because it was a lot of fun to work on it, and I couldn't imagine doing it with like anybody except for this group of people. So.
And even too, I think with the crew, like everyone deserves a kind of a thanks here, because it was really cold out and the whole production was really difficult. There was a lot of days where things wouldn't go right, and Spencer and Ryan really pulled it together and made it a success.
Yeah, thanks. I learned from this project what the job of producer actually is, and I learned that I do not want to be a producer. Because it would be like 4 in the morning, and the next day would be shooting, and an actor would like message me and be like, "Oh yeah, I can't make it now because I don't want to," and I'm like, "Well."
It's not like we can exactly force them, considering they're not being paid.
Yeah, so then it's like, okay, I need to go through my entire contact list at 4 in the morning and try and get somebody to be on set at 8 a.m. and just like, we somehow didn't have to cancel a single shoot. We got everything in the nick of time, but it was like, those like, I think I smoked more cigarettes in that week that we were shooting this than ever in my life, so producing is stressful.
Yeah.
Anybody who have questions, raise your hand. Sir?
Actually, yes, I have a question. Can I introduce myself?
No.
Oh, wait.
I guess we skipped you, didn't
Cut
we?
you out. Ladies and gentlemen, the star. In his own mind.
Yeah, in my own mind, I was like getting the beating on the ground, of course, right at the very end. I'm Crichton Bierman, Professor Drescher, or just the guy they randomly found on the street.
I guess that goes back to like how we all met. 4 of the people on this project all work at Barbecues Galore, or used to work at Barbecues Galore. And what we've realized is that people that work at Barbecues Galore do not want to work at Barbecues Galore, so they're all actors and stuff.
Not all of them, just the
ones.
peons.
Yeah.
Just work there for the big chairs.
Exactly. The Adirondack chairs.
So if you guys want to fast track your careers, your acting careers, start working at that restaurant.
Yep.
Right? And then immediately stop working at that.
Not a restaurant.
Not a restaurant.
Shoe store? I don't know.
He's a Calgary.
Now we can tell why he's an actor.
No, exactly. That's the problem.
He can read lines, but he doesn't know shit.
There's children here.
Actually, that was really worrying me at the start, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw like so many little kids there, I was like, the first line has the F-bomb in it. This is not gonna go well.
But there was a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, the gentleman was, yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Hi, I actually enjoyed it. It was very good.
Thank you.
The question I have is, from concept to actually completing it, how many hours were spent doing it?
A lot.
It was a lot because the initial concept came to me when I was like blackout drunk, and I came up with this idea, like this phrase, "my face is on the case," and I thought that was hilarious. And I had the scene with me and Chingaze where he's like, "Damn it, you're a good cop, but you let the job get to you." And so I was trying to explain that to the director and his girlfriend, and they were just not getting it. They were like, "This is so."
Well, okay, no. The reason we weren't getting it is because your original pitch was about a 30 seconds to a minute long YouTube sketch, and I thought that's gonna just fall flat and nobody's gonna watch that. So, and it kind of went from there.
It kind of went from there because then I actually sat down and wrote it one night, which in the initial one it had Dr. Face eating dog crap to get his powers, and you can see it came a long way. So, but that was our initial when we sat down and had a table read. Then I asked all of these people to come and sit down and just talk about like do our lines, and we did that. So that was about, I don't know, like 3 hours one day?
Yeah, we did a table read for about 3 hours. I mean, there was probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours involved in writing and editing at least, if not, 10 hours. And then shoot days ended up coming out to 6 or 8 hours in the evenings, and whenever we could get
And
time to
then
do
we
it.
should also add in the Tell Us Story Hive.
Oh, yeah.
We initially pitched it to Tell Us Story Hive with a pitch video, and so we filmed that, edited it, and made the entire pitch campaign in 10 hours the night before submissions were due. So
It was kind of a last minute decision.
yeah, that was good. Any other questions out there?
Sir at the back?
At least at the last scene, you had some kind of not quite blackface on half your face. What was that supposed to be?
Yeah, so I actually hadn't even realized how offensive that could come across as being until
After it was done.
Yeah, after it was done, but it's actually just because his face is bruised and disfigured from the radioactive Botox.
In person, it looks more purplish,
Yeah.
but in black and white, you know.
In black and white, it just looks like flat out bad.
Any other questions? Sorry, or more?
Sorry, if you,
blackface.
sorry, so if you did a sequel, would it still be in black and white?
I think it would be in black and
Yeah.
white if we did a sequel, and I think because I'm currently in the middle of writing like a graphic novel for it, and so I think if I make a sequel, I want to make it like a feature-length film, and so it would be a little bit more of a budget behind it. We'd probably make it a lot bigger.
And I mean, there'd be a lot less stupid face jokes and a lot more sort of like actual serious films, so.
There was, I think if you counted the puns in there was 12 face puns in total, so
And how long was the film?
8 minutes.
That 12 for 8 ratio, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's better than the last Adam Sandler movie.
Oh. It's funny.
Yes, it's right there, I'm sorry. Any other questions, folks, or compliments, or, yes?
Were there scenes that you envisioned that you didn't get to film for whatever reason that you wish you had been able to?
Yes. There was 2 that we.
I think the one that I regret not getting filmed the most is a really, really short one, but it was a scene where Dr. Face was supposed to be passed out drunk in an alley with like a bottle of whiskey or something, and Professor Drescher was kind of like over top of him, sort of having defeated him, cackling madly and running off. And I was kind of sad that we didn't get that one done because I felt like it really sort of emphasized that part about, you know, his job as being heavily affected and his life as being heavily affected by these changes.
And also we were kind of trying to make him look like a raging alcoholic,
Yeah.
so that would have worked. The Dr. Face is like semi-autobiographical, I guess, in a way.
Like they say, right what you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I know how to slam my face into things really well.
What was the other one, Spencer?
The other one was the initial how Dr. Face got his powers, which was he was going to be walking through a park on a sunny day, and there was going to be a dog that was like glowing green. We were going to have some after effects, and it was just going to poop, and he was going to eat the radioactive dog crap.
Which I immediately told him was a terrible
He immediately
idea.
was like, "That is terrible." And I think for a YouTube skit that would have been hilarious, but since we want to get this into festivals, that is definitely not happening. So.
We also had to cut
I
a
think
few-
Marvel owns that. Sorry, Liz.
Yeah.
Just look for it next summer.
I think it's dead poop.
We also ended up cutting a few scenes. Originally in the script, there was a scene where we fleshed out more when Dr. Face before he gets his face injected.
Yeah.
And we had to cut that from the script because what ended up happening was after we were all done filming, we realized, oh, we didn't get that. And anyway, Spencer already shaved his beard and stuff. So we were kind of out of luck with that, but
Yeah.
that was one of the other scenes that had to get cut.
Yeah. And I think one of the funniest things is one of the scenes that we shot where you see it for like 30 seconds where there's the bankers sucking coke off of the hooker. We filmed that in a hotel room, and I literally Googled shadiest hotel in Calgary for locations. And
Which is funny because we didn't get the shadiest
No.
hotel in Calgary. It was just sort of like
It
in
was-
the lower quarter.
it was just one of the ones that came up, which was the Howard Johnson Inn on McLeod. So.
No
Didn't
offense
get
to
the
anybody who knows
TNC
that
and
place.
Forest Lawn?
No,
It was not bad. I mean, it was crowded and small and like right on McLeod, but.
but
you
it
know.
was hilarious because
There, you couldn't get a room.
yeah.
Well, the worst part is when we were booking it, Spencer called them and said, "Hey, you know, we were hoping, you know, you guys would book your rooms out by like the hour."
And then the guy just paused and he's like, "What kind of a movie are you making?" So that was one of the funniest things though, was when we were shooting that, because we shot him getting the Botox injection at the same day.
In the same room.
In the same room.
In
So
case you didn't notice.
we got a butt ton of noise complaints while that happened, and then so we get the noise complaints, and we have to wait like I think it was about an hour and a half for our actor that was playing the hooker to show up. And then when she got there, we had to shoot that scene dead quiet, like dead silent, because we're like, this would be the time that management will walk in, when there's a half-naked girl with cocaine all across her body.
Fake cocaine.
Fake cocaine. Like,
I believe it was flour.
It would be hard to explain that one.
Yeah, specifics on that one, please.
well, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the movie industry.
And I mean, there was a lot of stomping around when we did that first one, because we're dragging you through and slamming doors and all that, so, you know, the people downstairs weren't too happy with us.
But it was like 12 in the afternoon, so I'm like, why are you sleeping at 12 in the afternoon?
Because it's a shady hotel.
I gotta say though, it was a goddamn nightmare to do sound in that room. The room that we were shooting in was about the size of a medium-sized bathroom.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I actually couldn't really fit the boom pole in properly. So we had to shorten it down, and like I could barely get it over the bed. Yeah, it was awful.
It was like, what, 8 of us in the room at one point,
It
too?
was around that 30-second shot. Like, it was so much effort for that 30-second shot for sound.
It's worth it.
We also ended up overflowing a toilet while we were
And no one claimed it, right? No one claimed it. But a shout out to Troy Finn to come out to be our banker.
He was the one that last minute, because at 4 in the morning, the actor who was supposed to play the banker was like, oh, I'm sorry, can't/don't want to do it.
My wife won't let me.
Probably, actually. So we ended up having to get Troy in at the last minute to have someone cover that, and yeah, so mad problem.
How did you pitch that?
And
I've got to know, what was the pitch?
I said you get to be in your underwear next to a half-naked girl.
That pretty much got him.
That was pretty much what got him there. That was, yeah, it was fun. Do we got any more questions, or?
Do the young guys have any questions that don't have to do with drugs and half-naked women?
Because we can give you tons of information about both of those things.
At the back there.
Sir, okay. The gentleman at the back, then we'll move forward, and then we'll...
What's the backstory of the bad guy?
The backstory,
You gave me the character, you just pulled me off the street, come on.
yeah, the backstory was we were looking for like play on words, and so since Dr. Face, there's no logic behind the name Dr. Face. Like there wasn't.
He isn't a doctor.
He's not a doctor. It's literally just I thought Dr. Face was a funny set of words to put together, so I did that. So I thought, oh, we should do more play on words with like other characters. So Professor Drescher was actually, I think it was Ryan Eady that came up with that.
It was, and the impression I had of him, and I don't know, maybe this is different for you, and we didn't really sit down too much and like make your character a character, but my impression of him was that he was sort of the leader and creator of the radioactive Botox, the guy who was in the lab making it. And so that's why Dr. Face is come to confront him, because he's chasing down the ring of people that have basically ruined and made his life all at once.
What he said.
Yeah, there you go.
In my opinion, when I first got handed that role, I thought they were just trying to make fun of my personal life, because unfortunately I have a little bit of intestinal issues happening, so it's distressing all the time. Yeah, so I thought it was a really bad joke. It's like, oh, he teaches a professor, he studies that all day long. So I just took it on. It's like, I can own this.
Gentleman in the middle, sorry, you had a question? Yes.
Yeah, how's it been going? Have you had accepted into any festivals at all?
We haven't yet. We just, we're going to start submitting after my next paycheck. I'm going to sink that whole thing into it, so.
But I mean, we were pretty shocked we actually got to premiere here.
Yeah, this was honestly the most surprising thing, especially after they saw the film. We were kind of surprised they'd still let us do that. So. Like, the very first line was what really shocked me with.
So you know, super shout out to the Calgary Expo for actually letting us do this.
We give you major props for that. And especially like we had to get it all together and edited.
It was roughly, we had like 24-hour notice, and they're like, okay, we need to have the whole film. We had edited maybe like 2 minutes of the whole 8-minute film. So I had to stay up for like 12 hours just editing straight to get it in on time. We got 5 games.
This is why we brought you on.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to bring up too. For as far as cast and crew go, the crew, everybody that was on the crew, I had brought on because I knew that they were really good at their job and I knew that they were reliable. Like Joey and Wes, I'd worked with before twice on some short films that we had done, and I knew that they were really good at what they did. And I knew Ryan was an excellent director because I worked with him on The Quieting and a few other short projects that we've done together. So it was literally when I was bringing everyone together, it was like, are you reliable and are you good? Those were my two qualifications.
Well, I mean, I remember sitting down and talking to you about this too, because eventually when the script became what it was, and we were like, all right, this is an 8-minute short film that's actually going to be semi-serious. And Spencer was very adamant. He's like, I want this to be made by, people with quality work and with good equipment, and I want it to look as good as it can to counteract how stupid it is. So, and I mean that again, thanks to Wes for doing that, all the equipment that you provided as well as everyone else and all that sort of stuff.
The music goes a long way.
Oh my God, it does.
And that's another person we have to shout out who's not here, unfortunately.
Because he lives in Vancouver.
He lives in Vancouver. Our music guy, we needed music, so I just put an ad on Facebook, like, hey, if someone wants to do music for free, and he had sent me a message on Facebook, and I was kind of like, I didn't really know the dude. I was kind of expecting one of our music friends to, step up to the plate on that one, and
because we have a few.
We have a few, and we had him recommended to us then by one of our buddies in the band, League of Wolves, and so he was like, yeah, no, you want this guy to do the music for your film.
His name is Elias Edlund, and he is I believe a master's student of jazz in Vancouver, or graduated with a master's in Vancouver, so.
And the first sample that he sent us was the main theme that you hear at the start and the end credits, and he just sent us that sample, and we were like, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want for the film. So.
Well, also too, what Spencer was wanting to go the direction with the sound was, if any of you are familiar with L.A. Noire, it's a video game, and that was one of the big influencers for the actual soundtrack of this.
So Wes, what kind of software were you using for your film editing?
For editing, we did that in Premiere Pro. For audio mixing, that was Adobe Audition.
Which is pretty. It looks
the best programs. I find. I mean, you can talk to some state students who might say otherwise.
Any other questions, folks? We've got about 5 minutes.
One follow-up. You were working hard to get to a deadline for a thing. What was the thing?
We had thought that when we submitted it, that the expo had wanted like a clip to see of it, but apparently they wanted the full film to see, and I mean for obvious reasons, they wanted to be able to see every part of it, and we didn't know that until like 2 days before we our date for it. Yeah, 1 day before we had to have it in. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was submitted and almost entirely edited by Wes in 1 day. So.
That was for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's a question further back. Yes, sir.
Will there be a DVD?
There will be. What we're going to do is we're going to put it in festivals first, and then as soon as we're like by October, whatever we have in festivals, whatever's not, by that point it's our cutoff date. We're going to have the DVD out about November. So.
And at that same point, there is also going to be another screening of it somewhere in Calgary at some point soon for anybody who couldn't get here. So if you want to see it again,
follow the Facebook page because it's going to be a mystery location.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be burned.
It'll be like
a mystery location.
It's going to be one of your phones.
There you go, there you go.
Howard Johnson on the Cloud Trail.
You probably should actually.
There's, I guess, one other thing that I wanted to bring up too. When we were shooting the scene in the living room area where Susan and Dr. Face have their fight, I have to say the weirdest thing is like when I wrote that I was like, hey, I can slam my face in someone's boobs, like this is gonna be awesome. And then the thing I didn't think about is like that you can hear someone's heartbeat really loud, and it kind of creeps me out after every shot. I'm like, yeah.
And that was, besides I think the hooker scene, that was probably the most fun I had shooting on that, because we're just in the living room and the tension in that scene, and when we were shooting it, was way higher than in any other part of the short so far. So it was already a little bit different, but then, you know, well, my favorite was Spencer slams his cup down and his whiskey flies out in like a streak, 4 feet in the air and like 3 feet sideways, and everybody just like loses their shit. And
I was the one that didn't break character that time. It was, I was happy with myself.
Every other time.
Every other time.
Or when we were filming with Chingays in his scene, and every time he said job, you just die.
I cannot act with Chingays. I've just learned that he will make me laugh uncontrollably at anything that he says. I'm really stuttering. This is weird.
Well, no, it was the emphasis.
What's the line, first of all, because you know I don't read.
You're letting the job get to you is the line, right?
So was it,
You let the job get to you.
Yeah.
just a quick question for the audience. I left my pants out there. Gwen, did you pick up my pants? My things are in there. She's leaving. Imagine. Yeah, thank you.
Take everything in my booth.
You know what? Go. No, go. Just leave. Miss Connie, don't go through my right pockets. Don't go through my right pockets. Wait,
Yes.
Another question, please.
Oh, it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun making the movie. Will you be having a bloopers kind of thing?
I really want to.
Yeah, I think I want to put
Can we
bloopers.
get another, live, right now?
What?
Live?
Let's go.
Live bloopers? Oh, that's
No.
good.
Live blooper?
Live kiss, let's go.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, well, give them some camera phones.
There we go.
I threatened, we were also screening one mask on the series.
I can't quit you.
Whoa, guys, that's weird.
And there you have it.
Strawberries and old people.
The sequel has just been written.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's actually a funny point to bring up too, because me and Chingays talked a lot on the days that he was on set about the relationship between Dr. Face and his character's name is Captain Salt. And he was constantly saying, like, he was playing the character as a slightly homosexual captain who had lusting after his young officer. And so we tried to bring that in a couple of scenes. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but in the last scene when they're shaking hands and everything, he goes in for a kiss and Dr. Face walks away and he's sort of like,
Also, too, if you do want to see the blooper reel of the kiss, you can go onto the Dr. Face Facebook page. Just go on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on there.
This one is a little bit longer. You guys are the only ones that will see it that
He also
long.
kisses the Menchie
Except for the people who watch it.
Yeah. It's actually really funny too, because we had a Nenshi look-alike as the mayor that you guys saw, and
he was a clone, I think.
He was a clone, but it was funny because I didn't notice until I watched the blooper the other day, but when I do the kiss on the cheek to him, he like keeps in character and then he's like,
So I think the popular demand is we need a blooper reel, Wes, and I mean, you know, we were expecting that already, so, and once the DVD,
Yeah, you give me another 12 hours.
yeah, 12 hours, that's fine, and then it'll be out on the DVD with the, yeah.
We've got about 3 or 4 minutes, time for one quick question. Nope. You got a question, or are you?
No, I'm flicking my hat.
I thought you were going to ask what my favorite color was.
Then we'll wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, please, great applause for the Spencer, of course, anybody who could, take the makeup and not smear it all over absolutely everything.
He got way better at it by the end.
Thank you. And yes, the Facebook pages are great. If you've got suggestions for the next script or feedback,
Yeah.
the guys.
We're not horrible at answering things.
We would love your feedback, actually. Like, we want to hear what you guys thought about.
Because if we're making a feature, we really need to know
And
what
if you
doesn't
think
work.
that this was god awful and we're just really, stroking ourselves, then you should tell us.
But yeah, no, actually, you get more bad feedback is actually better to an artist than good feedback, because mom and dads give great feedback.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
not
the
very
critics that
useful.
make you improve.
Exactly.
And I think this is a great project. Again, thank you